Setback to murder teen Aarushi Talwar's parents, the Supreme Court has dismissed the petition of Rajesh and Nupur Talwar for seeking a transfer of a case from Ghaziabad court to a court in the capital. Now, the couple had argued that it was a traumatic experience for them going to the Ghaziabad court to face trial and that they also face a security threat. The CBI had opposed the plea, calling it a ploy to delay the trial, and it would make proper arrangements, security arrangements for them in the Ghaziabad court. For more on what happened in court, let's go across to Siddharth Pandey, who was at the court, and Tanuma Biswas, who joins us from right outside the Talwars residence. Siddharth, to you first, what exactly happened in court? What are the reasons the court has given for dismissing the petition?
Well, the big news is that the Supreme Court has essentially dismissed the pleas by the Talwars to transfer that case from the Ghaziabad court to a court in Delhi. The Supreme Court has actually observed that it found there were not enough grounds. The grounds were not valid, is exactly what the Supreme Court had said. And it also said that it was satisfied with the undertaking by the government as far as security is concerned. Security, it felt, was adequate in the courts, but largely saying that it found that the grounds for the plea were not valid. And the reason why the Supreme Court obviously observed that is that the CBI essentially had countered the Talwars' plea to move the case out of Ghaziabad, saying that had they really been concerned about security, they should have asked for security, they should have moved a plea for security. That they never did. Of course, the fact is that Dr. Talwar was attacked with a meat cleaver. It was a pretty grievous injury that he actually got. I was there in the court that day, and that essentially had shocked a lot of people, the way it actually had happened in the court compound. Since then, of course, security has been stepped up. But the CBI is saying that the Talwars, had they been really concerned about security, would have actually asked for security. That's something they didn't do, and that's something that Supreme Court obviously kept in mind while passing today's order. This effectively means that the Talwars will have to now face trial before that trial court in Ghaziabad. It's a big setback for the Talwars. CBI sources telling us that this essentially had been done by Talwars to try and delay their date in court. Not just that, but had they managed to get the case transferred to Delhi, they could have applied for anticipatory bail, because the provision for anticipatory bail is not available in Uttar Pradesh, but it is available in Delhi. That's something that they could have tried for, but clearly those legal avenues now no longer open to them. They will have to face trial before that magistrate in Ghaziabad.
Right, Siddharth, thanks very much. Let's also go across to Tanuma Biswas, who's right outside the Talwars residence. Well, Tanuma, you've been tracking the case all along, so it's from this house to the Ghaziabad court and back. But any reactions you are getting from this after this big setback for the family?
Also, unfortunately, no reaction so far. We are standing in front of the Talwars residence here in Delhi, where we know that Nupur Talwar is not at her residence, but Rajesh Talwar is. That's what we have been told. And so far, no reactions. We have been trying to reach through them through the day, even after the petition that they had filed in the Supreme Court asking the Apex Court to shift the trial from a Ghaziabad court to a court in Delhi. But as we know, as Siddharth was mentioning, that the case plea has now been dismissed. The court has said that there is adequate security in the Ghaziabad court for them to continue. When we had spoken to the Talwars earlier, they had of course expressed their apprehension about the fact that after the attack which had taken place on Rajesh Talwar at the Ghaziabad court premises last year, they have been they have felt very unsafe going back to Ghaziabad court for trial, despite the fact that there were a lot of media people were present in front of them. The attack took place, and they have felt unsafe since then. They did feel that the CBI security being provided to them was not enough, which is why they had given such a plea. But as it has turned out that the plea has in fact been rejected, it has been dismissed, and they would have to go back to trial at the Ghaziabad court on 14th of March. We also know, of course, that the Talwars have in fact been charged with murder and destruction of evidence, and there is now high apprehension as to what exactly could happen to them when the trial resumes at the Ghaziabad court in March, in a couple of weeks from now. Right. And we know that even before that, they have tried very hard to reject the CBI's closure report. They had gone to the Allahabad court with their plea, saying that the CBI's closure report should be quashed. But even then, the Allahabad court had said that the trial should continue and the court should come to a logical conclusion as to what should be done with the case. So despite the Talwars' repeated pleas, now it seems that they would have to stand for trial as the case resumes at the Ghaziabad court. Kulsum?
The NDTV news app had redefined the entire genre. Now another market beater. It's already hit #1.
NDTV Profit, India's #1 finance app. Download free at ndtvprofit.com/apps. Live stream of NDTV Profit, market news and your easy to manage portfolio. Download now ndtvprofit.com/apps.